Okay, so let's look at another option we have here. If you remember from a little while ago, one of the things that I did that was a nice feature just to remind you of is if this match properties, if I click on that, I can click on the wall I want to take properties from and apply it to the wall I want to have those properties. So instead of having to click on this wall and go through, like I would normally do, go through here and say, yeah, is this the right wall? I want to be sure. Is it metal stud? Is it CMU? I don't even have to guess. I can simply, again, go to match properties, click on one, click on another, and there we go. Okay? Let's talk about stacked walls a little bit. What do I mean by stacked wall? Well, by definition, if I go into the architecture tab and click on the wall feature and click on wall architectural, there is a stacked wall that is built in to our what? Into our regular Revit template. So if I go through and draw that and I flip this wall, well, if I go to a level 1 view and scroll out, I can flip this wall. And then in the 3D view, I can see that this wall is CMU at the bottom and it's brick at the top. Well, how would I go about doing that myself with different walls of different materials? Well, let's examine that. Let's say that in a level 1 view, I go through and I recognize that under the wall, I can start with, for instance, a generic brick wall, right? I'll draw a generic brick wall. And then let's just say with this generic brick wall that at the top of that brick wall, I just wanted to have, I don't know, a sheet of glass, right? How would I go about doing that? Well, if I went into wall architectural, what I could do is say I'm going to go to a generic 5-inch wall and I'm going to edit that type and I'm going to come up here to structure and I'm going to say under structure, or before I do that, I'm going to say duplicate and I'm going to say glass wall, right? It's just a regular glass wall. Now to make that glass wall a glass wall, I have to make it look like that. So I'm going to go into structure and let's say the glass is pretty thick. Let's say it's 2 inches. And if I go under here by category, I can pull up something that's going to look like glass, right? First things first, if I can come up here and just type in GLA, whoops, let's get in the box, GLA SS, right? I can say glass, okay. Now I've got some glass, and now I can come in here and draw that way. And now I've got, if I look at a 3D view, some brick and some glass. Now let's say I want to combine those things. How would I go about doing that? I'm going to pause the video so we can talk for a moment. Recording. So what I want you to see is that now we're going to take this wall that we have here and we're going to make it a stacked wall. But now when we go into the edit type feature and we go when we select it and go to edit type, I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to say brick wall glass top. Okay? And just to preface this, I would never do a wall like this in real life, but this is an easy way for you to visually see how this starts working. Then when I go to structure, what I'm going to say is I want the lower half, right, to be some height. The second type is going to be variable. So this lower one, I'm just going to use what? I'm going to use the generic 4-inch brick. And for the top, I'm going to now come in and use my glass wall, right? And that's going to be variable. I'm going to hit OK, OK. And now that is my variable wall. Now, again, I would never in real life do a wall just like this, maybe if I was on the interior of my building, but I wanted you to see through this video that in order to create a stacked wall, you had to use one that was existing to start because it is a system family that is built into Revit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I want you to experiment with creating this stacked wall, and then we'll move on to the next portion of our lesson.